What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, season 10, episode 12, Old Womb. So we start with Yandy. They're back from Dubai. One of the main things that she wanted to do while she was down there in Atlanta is open up her own plant-based shop called Yele. And that's what she did. She got Mendici there, and then Jock shows up, and Kurt and Rashida. Okay, so they talking, but then the men go outside and they talk because, of course, Jock is having issues with his son. The last time we saw Jock, him and his son had got into it. Unfortunately, he was trying to tell his son that you need to get your life together, get up out the streets and see the errors of his ways before he go any deeper. And he lost his temper with him because the son Amani just felt like he wasn't getting it. Okay. And he had a physical altercation with him a little bit. It got a little bit of physical. And so he's getting advice from Kirk and Mendici because, bitch, I didn't know Kirk and Mendici. Well, I kind of knew Kirk, but I didn't know Mendici was older than Jock. I said, wait a minute, because he was like, because both of y'all older than me, y'all got a little more experience. I said, wait a minute, what? How old is Mendici? And how old is Young Jock? I said, Mendici look good for whatever age he is. I ain't even gonna lie. Y'all can talk about Kirk too, okay? I don't like him like I can't, girl, whatever, okay? But for whatever age he is, he don't look old like that, okay? He look good for his age. And I ain't saying that he fine, but he look good and decent for his age, okay? We got to give him that. But at the same time, he was just telling them the situation and what he need to do. And, Mendici and them, he was just talking like, when he was talking to his sons, he's always talking about, the son saying, oh, here go another lecture, whatever. And he's like, listen, you should be glad that you got somebody in your life to give you a lesson, a lecture or whatever, because I did not have that. Maybe if I had that, I would have went a different route. Ooh, pout. A different route or whatever. Things would have worked out differently for me, and, certain things probably wouldn't happen. And Kirk was like, this is a new generation, and they just don't see things the way that we see things. And that's true. And Jock is trying to see, like, maybe I need to go to the pastor. Listen, go to your pastor, okay, if that's what you feel like you need to do. And what y'all really need is y'all need a family therapist, okay? Get that in conjunction to going to church, okay? Listen, I'm not here for just going to church or whatever, because these church people, most of the times, they're not 100% qualified to talk about, issues that you need a therapist for. They don't have the skills for that, okay? You can get the godly wisdom and everything from them, but you also need to go to therapy in conjunction, okay? I say do both, all right? And pray on it, of course. But sometimes ain't nothing wrong with getting a little bit more assistance, extra assistance. So it's good that he came and he got advice from his friends, but he also needs to take it a little step further, okay? Exhaust all your options, all right? Moving on from that, we got the whole situation with Erica. Let me just say this, and if I just sound so indifferent and like I don't care about this situation, it's because I don't. Because right about now, they are filming the family reunion, season 2 that we saw last earlier this year. They're filming that, and Safari and Erica are there, and they're good. And that doesn't mean that they are, back together. They could just be messing around with each other, but they could just be cordial, whatever. I mean, she was giving him lap dances, and they joking with each other and all this stuff. I guess they're in a decent, calm place for right now. But at this point in time, I don't care. She went to go file a divorce. She and her feelings for the simple fact that he counterfiled. What did you expect? What did you expect? First of all, he petty. Second of all, you did it out of, he found out about it on social media. If I would have found out some shit on social media that's concerning my relationship, I'd probably do some petty shit too, okay? But truth be told, he protecting himself just like you trying to protect yourself. And the main thing is, custody. He's fighting for 50-50. She don't want the 50-50. And I guess she got a different meaning of what 50-50 means. And the lawyer had to tell her, no, basically the child will be staying in your custody, okay? It'll be staying in your custody, but it's like dividing up the time as to, when he can come see, when he can come take, but they will always be in your custody and living with you, whatever. she just nervous about the attorney that he got. Okay, moving on from that. Kurt and Rashida, they having issues at their business once again. Okay, they got the whole bistro just amok. All right, as Mama D would say, everything is running amok. And this is why we say it is not always good to hire family. Put that nepotism aside. And I know we trying to be, let's pass this legacy down and build something that we can pass down from generation to generation. But if that generation that you are trying to pass it down to don't want it, give it to somebody else that do and who ain't gonna run it into the ground. Okay, because this is a mess. This is a mess. All right. What's going on when they went to Dubai? They didn't trust the kids to stay in to be in charge of the bistro. I wouldn't trust their ass either with all the drama that's going on. So they brought in a temporary manager to see what was happening. They have a meeting with Rashida, Kirk, and Kai, and basically they was talking about some receipts. The money ain't adding up, okay? Like over $161 of stuff is missing, and probably more than that from what they told us. And the manager is sitting down there telling us, listen, what I think is somebody sneaking food, somebody doing this, somebody doing that. That's what's going on. They stealing and all this stuff. Now they got to figure out what this is all about, who doing what. Of course, Kirk is in his feelings like that's lame as hell for you to do some shit like that. I said, if you hungry, all you got to do is ask. I'm pretty sure they'll do that and put it on your tab or whatever. But hey, it is what it is. I think that is messed up to steal from the restaurant just because you work there. I mean, it ain't like you taking some napkins and some plasticware or whatever. No, you stealing a whole place of food that's supposed to last for paying customers. Okay, moving on from that. Again, Rashida brings up a post that Scrappy put up, and it's basically about mental illness and how men go through things, and I guess men are made to feel like they can't express themselves and show that they're hurting or down or something is going on because people telling them to man up, and they have suicidal thoughts. Okay, trigger warning. And he caption it basically saying that he's at that point right now. And so, they're taken aback because Scrappy hasn't told them anything about it. And, Kirk being his friend and them all being friends, Rashida's gonna text and see what's going on with Bambi to see what's happening, and then Kirk gonna try to reach out to Scrappy, as they should. I mean, that's what friends should do. So, hey, cool. I mean, cool not that he going through that, but cool that they gonna reach out and check on him and see what's good. Okay, we always should check on our friends. The strong ones, the quiet ones, the ones that think they don't have it together. Everybody, just check on your friends. So, Scrappy, he basically was in his feelings because after Mama D done messed up the thing, and shout out to Funky Deneva, and told told him about what Erica allegedly said to Sierra. Bitch, first of all, I'm still mad at Sierra for telling Mama D that, okay? Because you know how she is. You know how she is, and she done got the information all wrong and everything, and girl, it's just a whole mess, and he's in his feelings about it. He had to leave. They got into an argument. He left the house. He hadn't been home. He hasn't been able to see his kids only through Instagram because Bambi ain't answering the phone. And I'm like, well, take your ass home then. You want to see the kids so bad? Is she kicking you out? Did she kick you out, or did you just leave? Like, what's going on? Okay. And don't use the kids as a pawn. I don't know what's going on, but don't use the kids as a pawn in y'all little silly game. Okay, figure it out and do it for the betterment of the children. He meet up with Kirk and Mendices at the bistro to just talk about what's going on because they're worried. And, he was like, the reason why he put that post up is because, it be the women sometimes that be saying, they don't want to see you doing all this stuff. And if you feeling some type of way, you need to man up. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily true because, the women that I follow, they're all the way here for, letting your emotions fly. But I'm pretty sure it's a possibility that does happen or whatever. So I'm not going to deny it. But we have to understand that everybody is human and everybody has emotions. Everybody has feelings. And God did not just give it to one sex, okay, to show this and to show that, and for the other one to keep it all locked up and just to be so masculine and all this stuff. No, you can cry just like we can cry, okay? You can feel sad just like we can feel sad, and it should be allowed to, you know. We got to stop this double standard. We got to stop this, you know, men ain't supposed to cry, men ain't supposed to feel. We got to stop all that, you know. You could be sensitive too, and it should not make you look any less of a man or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You have those emotions for a reason, to use them, so use them. Meanwhile, um, you know, they were basically, I like the fact that they were not telling him, well, if you feel like you need to go ahead and get a divorce, go ahead and get a divorce, okay? And, you know, they were like, Mendici, like, what helped me and Yandy is because we had our issues too. We stayed around successful couples. Like, look at Kirk and Rashida. When he said that, I said, huh? But then again, I guess in this situation, it do work, okay? I guess because Kirk and Rashida been together for over 20-some years, and they had their ups and downs, and a lot of it was shown on TV. We seen it, and for some reason, somehow, they were able to get through it. Now, Rashida had every freaking reason and every motive to get out of that relationship with Kirk, but she chose to stay. She chose to stay, fight, and work it out with that man. It wouldn't have been me as soon as you brought a break baby up in that bitch, and it wasn't even a break baby. As soon as you brought a cheap baby up in this bitch, okay? My name ain't Gabrielle Union, okay? My name ain't Rashida. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen, Captain. Deuces, I'm out, all right? Who had a baby? My name is Melody Holt in this situation. It's time to go, okay? And I don't even really like her like that no more. But, you know, she got the hell up out of there. Even though she's still dealing with that mess, I just couldn't. It wouldn't be me. But, you know, Kurt was just like, we trying to check up on you, and what y'all really need to do is, he said, I can see he's hurting, you know, at least you not, because not Safari, but Scrappy is like, Bambi don't realize that when I'm out here working, I put a song out. And he is right. He that type of artist that he can't just put a song out and just let it sit there and it's going to blow up. He going to have to promote that, okay? Because when was the last time somebody heard a song from Scrappy? And when was the last time somebody was really checking for Scrappy on a musical level? So he got to go out there and work and promote and do what he got to do to keep that momentum going, to get the money to come into the house. Bambi needs to understand that you knew who he was before you married him. And, you know, just because you got a little comfortable because he was in the house during the pandemic, now he's out here working. Let that man work a little bit and give him a little bit of leeway. But, you know, Scrappy, you also got to be attentive to her needs, okay? And understand where her feelings are coming from, all right? And, you know, what you need to do, like Kirk said, y'all need to sit down and have a 101 husband and wife conversation. And you have to let your guard down and let your feelings out and let her see the feelings and the hurt that you're going through, the emotions that you're going through, because obviously he's not. Because Bambi looked like she probably would understand that if you can show that emotions, okay? It was cool that he had friends that were actually checking up on him. And I do feel like they genuinely do care about each other in this situation. Baby, I need some people like that up in my life. Because I know a bitch been going through some shit. And ain't nobody... Girl, let me shut up. Moving on. This ain't about me. Everybody go through some mental stuff. And then with the pandemic, it just kind of like drove everybody to a different direction, you know, put everybody in a different type of headspace or whatever. The last couple of years just been crazy, you know, so it's understandable that people are going through stuff and not all the way there mentally, you know what I'm saying? I can testify, like I'm going through it right now, so hey, it is what it is. Moving on from that. You see how I zoomed past that? No, I ain't finna get into it, but moving on from that. We get Erica meeting up with Yandy, you know. Remember, Yandy didn't really feel Erica like that, but now she real cool with her, and, you know, Erica is grateful for the little friendship that they got. And it's crazy because, you know, they supposed to be having this little opening party or whatever at the, you know, Yandy shop, and Mendici had invited Safari, and Safari said as long as he comes, do not invite Erica. But Yandy had already invited Erica, and Mendici didn't know. And like Yandy said, they both my friends, so they both coming. It is what it is, okay? I'm not picking and I'm not choosing. They both gonna come, okay? You invited him, let him come. I invited Erica. That's what it's gonna be. And they got to talking. Hey girl, how you doing? You know, how was your wedding? Oh, you married again? I mean, it's good or whatever. It's glad that you was able to get to 6 years. Too bad that I couldn't. It's like I understand what's going on. I just don't, like, I'm just all up in here by myself, and I feel like I'm a single mother, and he want to expedite the divorce, and I said, damn, come on, actress. Come on, actress. Okay, because when I tell you, Yandy asked her one simple question, and that shit flipped. okay, from being extra happy about what was going on to literally the opposite, and the tears came. I said, what in the dramatics? But I get it, you know. And like Yandy said, why are you trying to expedite a divorce and put all this stress on your wife, okay? Either I don't even care if you don't consider her your wife. That's the mother of your child, okay? That she's burying your child, you know. And it's just a lot of craziness that's happening. And then she said she knew that he was cheating, because once she found out that she was pregnant, I think the second time she had a woman's intuition or whatever, gut intuition, that told her something else was going on. She hired a private detective and she found out that he was cheating. I said, did you really think that Safari was gonna be faithful when he cheating during Nikki relationship? Bitch, I was gonna say Nikki dodged the bullet with that motherfucker, or Nikki probably at home laughing, but Nikki got her own stuff to go through. Okay, she went from one. We're not even gonna do that. I honestly don't get. I would have like no. Let's go there for a second. I really wish they would have had a camera throughout their whole relationship and filmed the whole relationship, so I can get a better understanding as to how Nikki and goddamn Safari got together, okay, and lasted as long as they did. Because bitch, he would have got on my nerves so bad, and I would have been had to let him go. Okay, listen, we can't do this. We cannot do this. We cannot do this. We may can work together when I feel like it, but at this moment, you're gonna have to get the hell on. You're gonna have to get the hell on. I just couldn't put up with his boy. He's just too goofy. He's not mature enough. He's 40 something years old. He's 40 years old probably, and it's just, nigga, grow up. That's it. Yandy said, "I'm gonna see what's up." I said, "Do that, girl." So, you know, they have a meeting, Rashida and Kirkwood, all of the employees, Kirk and his girlfriend, Kai, the daughter, and the manager, the new manager or whatever, and said, who the hell stealing food? It was the girlfriend. I think it was Kirk Jr.'s girlfriend, Sierra, okay? And Kirk wasn't even surprised. He was like, ever since she came there, it's always been some stuff. And, you know, she always got to be up in something. And she was like, ever since it felt like I was being disrespected or people was being disrespectful towards me, this is what was going on. And I'm like, girl, that is dumb. Okay, these kids these days, like, y'all just, and this is what I'm talking about. They don't care because they understand that at the end of the day, nothing is going to happen. Because at that moment, what did Kirk do? Well, this time ain't nothing gonna happen, but you know, you've been warned and you're gonna be being watched. Okay, no. You're literally stealing. I don't care if it's money or if it's food or whatever. You're taking from the restaurant and you're not putting in it. And you're not doing your job the way that you're supposed to. And you've already said that she had some issues or whatever that's been going on for a minute at the restaurant. That is grounds for firing, in my opinion, okay? It's too much. It's too much. It's too many incidents that's happening, okay? Freak a warning. You probably done already gave her a warning. You probably done already written her up or whatever. Now you're going to give her another warning and another chance just because of what? She fucking your son? I don't get it. I don't get it. You want your restaurant to thrive. Fire all the motherfuckers and go ahead and get some professional people up in there that got experience, okay? Like, cut the cord somewhere and let them go fend for themselves and let them see how it is in the real world when mommy and daddy is not there helping them out, all right? And moving on from that, Bambi meets up with Sierra, okay? Give her the lowdown on what happened in Dubai. And then she winds up telling her, listen, Mama D up here, because, you know, she was talking about Scrappy. You know, he put the little post up or whatever, you know, and she was like, yeah, I know he be going through some stuff. Like, when he got into it, he be out here on the road. He came home, you know, even though he be being mean to me or whatever, I still came home and gave him some tea or whatever because he was feeling sick and all this stuff or whatever. Okay, cool. You know, and I didn't like the way this conversation went down unless it was edited out, because Sierra sat there and made it seem as though Mama D came up to her and, you know, told her basically that Scrappy got lawyers or whatever, and so, you know, they're gonna get some things popping. And then Sierra was like, well, I'm pretty sure Bambi got lawyers too. And so I'm like, did you tell her that you told her that Bambi was thinking about divorce? That you told her that? Okay, did you tell her all of that information? Like, I don't like when you half-ass tell people stuff to make yourself look like you ain't had nothing to do with it when you the one that set this off to Sierra, okay? Granted, because we know how Mama D is, but yet you offer some information that you should not have given to her, okay? Which probably is the reason why Mama D said, well, Scrappy got lawyers too, because of what you said about her wanting to have a divorce, okay? Girl, now Bambi is pissed off, as she should, because why is Mama D involved? Let them figure that shit out, okay? If Scrappy Gang came to her and told her what was going on, there is no reason why you need to be involved in none of this. Mind your business, Mama D, and yours too, Sierra. And that's one thing too. Uh Scrappy had an issue with the fact that he found out this information from his mom, and the fact that, Bambi was talking about the divorce like that and actually maybe going through with it instead of just coming to him first and, her going to her friends and saying stuff about it first. I said, well, that's what y'all do, though. Ain't that what goes on? I get it. Oh, bitch, don't judge me. But this whole scene with Jock and his son, let me tell you something. For some reason, like, I feel like that's one of the more authentic storylines on here. I mean, part of it could be put on, but him wanting to, because I guess it's because we so used to seeing Jock being goofy. He's always the comedic relief, but then you got Safari that's on here doing that. But we always see him being goofy, not taking things so seriously. But to see him now in a father role and actually trying to care, not trying to, but showing that he does care about his son and he wants his son to not follow the footsteps that he's been in, but to go down a different path, because times have changed. Like, we literally have, and more so, black men literally have targets on their backs, okay? And so he don't want him to go down that path that he went down, and path that, other people in his life have went down with losing sons and stuff. He said he can count on six sets of hands. I said, that's 60 of people who lost sons. I said, wait a minute, that's 60. You mean to tell me you got 60 friends that ain't got their kid? Jock, are you exaggerating? But no, it got to me. It really got to me to see this different side of him, because we don't see too much of that sometimes, and I want to see more images like this of black men that's actually trying to reach out to their kids and correct the wrongs that they are going, and not want their kids to be like them. So I appreciated this scene. This probably was one of the better scenes of the whole episode. I do like the fact, usually I'm just here for, Jock and the son, coming and sitting down. But for some reason, I was here for the fact that everybody that's in that boy's life, the parents, the adults that's in his life that actually care for him, it was almost like an intervention, because they went to the pastor, whatever, and you had Kendra there, and you also had his mother there, and they all had respect for each other, okay? And I like the fact that everybody got along and everybody came there. You could tell that they literally were there for him, and they were not trying to attack him. And Jock said what he had to say. Amani, he finally got it. And he said, I want that relationship back with my father. I want to, get back on track or whatever. And when they hugged it out, baby, that damn near took me out. Okay, that damn near took me out. I said, that's what it need. And then the boy said, Amani said in a confessional, this time with the pastor, for some reason, it connected with him a little bit better than the last time, because he felt like his father was actually talking to him instead of talking down on him. I said, you know what? Glory be to God. Okay, listen to that. Okay, I still feel like y'all need some family therapy because it's not over, but y'all made some good steps right about then. Good job, Jock, and the family. I'll give y'all that. So, it's the opening for Yandy's shop. She got her friends from New York. She got her people from Atlanta. They excited. Safari comes through. And, of course, she has to talk to him. What is really going on between you and Erica? Like, you literally leaving and you're not being there. And, he basically is over the whole thing. And he literally said that he don't care. And she was like, do you love her? Whatever. He said, listen, I just don't care. No, because she said, are you angry or are you just done? I just don't care right now. She was like, the fact that you can't say that you don't love her or whatever, or you're done, you still love her, okay? And of course he still loves her, but I kind of got what he was saying when he came to the point where he was like, he got his own place, because you keep on telling me to get out. So if this is the case, I'm gonna get out. I would have probably did. No, I would have did the same thing. You gonna tell me one too many times to get out and to do something, I'm gonna go ahead and do it eventually, okay? But at the same time, Safari, don't act like you don't contribute to about something. It's always arguing. That's what Yandy said. Why don't you just be there for her when she's having a baby or whatever, when she's in the hospital? We don't need to do that because it's always arguing. Like she said, it takes two. Where Erica, it don't. the girl that probably ain't arguing because you, if I don't feel like that girl just comes out of nowhere to argue. I know Erica can be a lot and she can be extra. But most of the time, because so far you have a track record, you done something, okay? Meanwhile, and that's not to absolve Erica of her bullshit too, because I feel like she's on a lot of it as well. But at the same time, this whole thing about him cheating, and he talked about something we wasn't even together. It was one little incident or some shit like that, but we weren't together. And like Yandy said, you were married. You are married. So technically speaking, you still cheated. So whatever you think it is, it's still cheating. Okay? I don't care if the girl just sucked you off or whatever, or you sucked her off. You still cheated. That's still cheating. Talking to somebody else in a manner that could lead to something that was cheating. Okay? Let's not play dumb. But he just needs to get his shit together. Anyway, moving on from that, he just said I would rather be someplace. Well, I'm happy if I'm. The days that I wasn't with her, I have been happy, okay? So, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I don't care no more. Then Mama DC Bambi over there, and then she sit down trying to act like she cool or whatever to just tell her that, Sierra was telling me about the stuff that you going through and that you going to get the divorce and all this stuff. And, she was like, Sierra told you what? Yeah, she said that you wanted to get the divorce. I didn't know that you already had that finalized and that you wanted to take everything that he got. And Bambi said, what exactly do I want to take? Because what money is exactly coming in that he has, okay? Because Bambi made sure a few episodes ago to let us know that at one point in time she was the provider of the house because he didn't have nothing to do. She had to pay his light bill and shit, okay? And I 100% believe that, because who was playing Money in the Bank? Who is playing all his other stuff, okay? Okay. Who is playing all of his other stuff right about now? I don't hear that shit being spent on the radio, all right? But it is what it is. It's just Mama D meddling and, doing the absolute freaking most. And, Bambi got her ass. You up here talking about you care about your son, you care about your grandsons and all this stuff, but yet you ain't even seen them. Why don't you come see them? If, she pop up, the kids wouldn't even know what she looked like or who she is. I said, damn. And that really got her pissed off. And I said, Mama D, you shouldn't have got involved because it ain't got nothing to do with you. Gonna get up and leave and gonna say, son, keep that bitch away from me. You the one that came over there to her space, so you stay away from her. Anyway, that was Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. Let me go look at Miami. Peace.